again, you really need to understand what are all the levers that you have in place? What are all the resources at your disposal that you have to deploy in order to achieve your goals? That could be a mixture of people and technologies, right? So, I would always say start with the people first. An organization is the sum of its people, and hopefully oftentimes more than the sum of those parts. So I would start by, kind of making sure you understand what your baselines are, what your goals and objectives are, what have you used in the past in order to achieve those. That's all going to come from your data. So you're going to have historical data. Hopefully it's clean. Hopefully it's, something that you can rely upon, but definitely, look to your source systems of records in order to, understand where you've been and kind of what, given the previous investments that we've made, given the previous organizational structures, what were our successes, right? What were the results of those? Hopefully you understand from doing a little bit of a root cause analysis, you might suspect what are the changes that are required, right? And that's where you have to really map it to, okay, in order to meet those goals and in order to solve those problems, what are the shifts that need to be made? So they could be territory shifts, and that might be where, kind of looking at the go-to-market approach, right? Like how many, where, what segments, right? Understanding your model, understanding your customers, understanding your ICP, and understanding, do we need to go vertical with our sales reps, if that makes sense for your industry and your point of your own journey as a company, or are we going to be segmenting based on size, right? You have to really understand the characteristics of your customers, because at the end of the day, in order to acquire a customer, it's all about making sure that you can meet their needs, and you can't meet their needs unless the people who are advocating for you, for your company, understand them, can speak their language, and can be trusted advisors. Because more and more we're finding that customers are really eschewing kind of transactional type sales reps. So once you understand like your territory, your kind of go-to-market approach, how your customers are going to align to your organization, then it's all about kind of sorting through, the territory plans, making sure that the individual sales reps' incentives are in line, with your organization's objectives. There's a lot of iteration that might go through that. It can definitely, and those who have gone through it know that it's a lot more difficult than it sounds. So yeah, there's a lot of different data points, and you have to make sure that, the bottom up meets all the way to the top in terms of the goals. And sometimes, there might require some iteration. And I'm working with a couple of clients right now who are kind of going through that process, right? But nevertheless, making sure that you have that model in place, tweaking and iterating it over time is of the utmost importance.